I want to play something from what Secretary Raffensperger said in his testimony. Let's watch.
And Mr. Secretary, why didn't you just quit and walk away?
Because I knew that we had followed the law and we had followed the Constitution. And I think sometimes moments require you to stand up and just take the shots when you're doing your job. And that's all we did. You know, we just followed the law and we followed the Constitution. And at the end of the day, President Trump came up short.
What do you think might have happened if people like Secretary Raffensperger didn't stand up to the former president?
Yeah, I've thought a lot about this. I put it in my book and spent some time really trying to tease out what it would look like if a Brad Raffensperger would have stepped in front of a microphone for 10 seconds and spread some doubt as to where the election was going to head and what the security of that election was. Or a Governor Kemp would have alluded to some sort of fraud. Or a Jeff Duncan would have stood up and said we should call a special session just because of the sitting president wants us to. It would have created complete chaos. 2.5 million votes in Georgia would have been nullified, and so would have millions of votes around the country. And quite honestly, that's not what we were elected to do. We were elected at its core to follow the Constitution and follow the law. It didn't work out for us. We have time to regroup and figure out a better pathway forward. And I think these January 6th hearings are going to be a true launching pad for a GOP 2.0, a different direction, a better direction that's a better competitor.
Secretary Raffensperger also spoke about threats he received and that his wife received. His daughter-in-law's home was broken into. His son has passed away. Despite all that, he's continuing to fight for the rule of law. He ran for re-election. Are you worried, however, that experiences such as the ones that he had and the Georgia elections official and Speaker of the House in Arizona, Bowers, et cetera, could have a chilling effect? Could have I mean, that's what terrorism is, right? It terrorizes people so they behave a certain way. Could this end up discouraging people from doing the right thing?
Look, there's never been a time where leadership mattered more than right now, and it's being put on display. We've got to have leadership in this country. We've got to have folks willing to stand up and do the right thing and lead this country in a better direction. And right now, you know, if I'm looking at Democrats, I'm sure many of them would admit that Joe Biden's not the right answer. Millions of Republicans would admit Donald Trump's not the right answer. It is time for us to step up and tackle the real problems, and we're not going to do that without leadership. If we just simply pay attention to the flyers in our mailbox or the 10-second sound bites on YouTube, we're going to keep electing clowns to run this country. We need real leaders.